All right, today, guys, I want to talk a little bit about what exactly it is that separates you from an academic. And I think if you think long and hard about this, the one main thing is just this a diploma. You don't have one, therefore, you cannot be an academic. You cannot be an intelligent person worth listening to. And I mean, this is a narrative that is entirely stupid. And I'm going to speak from firsthand experience here as a person that went to a top university in the entire world. And I'm not using this to brag. In fact, throughout the rest of this video, I'm basically going to shit on that entire experience. But just to let you know, I'm not just talking out my ass. I understand what it's like to be there and what it actually means to graduate from a top university. And it doesn't mean that you're some kind of genius. So to start off, I know plenty of people that were smarter than me. I knew plenty of people I was smarter than. But when it came down to the things that actually matter, certain takes and opinions, most people are very bad at framing an intelligent opinion, and most people are very bad about going against a known narrative. So, despite the fact that the university is claiming to be a place for free thinkers, I think most of us know that is absolutely not the truth. If anything, it just teaches people to conform. So, a few examples of this. Uh, I have plenty of personal examples of, you know, students going off about socialism, communism, and things. Whereas the second anybody expresses a right wing opinion, it's the end of the entire world. They need to get kicked off of campus and things like that. But really, I would rather just talk about what it's like to be in a class for anybody who's not actually been in an academic setting. There's no reason that you listening to this right now can't be a philosopher. There's no reason that you can't be a person doing your own research on a topic. There's not some magical method that they have for turning people, regular people, into academics. And like I said, the only thing separating you from an academic is this piece of paper right here. And if you ignore the piece of paper, you could be just as smart as any academic and just as capable as any academic without the credentials. So this is what academics do. They will have a designated reading for the class. Then we will come to class. We will discuss the reading, and we'll have some kind of lecturer who has read the reading 100 times, and he's the one leading the discussion and kind of directing it in a certain way. And everybody's allowed to give their takes on whatever it is we're reading. Perhaps it's Nietzsche, perhaps it's Adam Smith, maybe even it's Karl Marx. And then, after a set period of time, after reading a certain number of books, we might read uh, two or three books and then be asked to write an essay, maybe doing a compare and contrast, or maybe we take one and we analyze the themes inside of it. And that's it. And that's what they do for 4 years. And then they come out with a philosophy degree or a English degree or a type of history degree. I mean, this is not limited to just philosophy type classes. This is what you do in a any type of history class either. As a person that took philosophy classes, history classes, and all the works, there's really nothing special going on here. So, what have we been doing the past few weeks? If you've been keeping up with this channel, we just read books and I try to lead a discussion. Perhaps I'm not as experienced and well versed in the works that I'm reading as a professional professor might be, but I do my best, and people listen and they read the books and they contribute their thoughts, and sometimes we even write about them. I mean, I know I've written more essays in the past year than I ever did through my college career, and that's because I actually wrote things that were interesting to me and things that I cared about. Nobody wants to read the Iliad and analyze poetic devices and stupid things like that. Maybe we want to read the Iliad and talk about how it relates to the Western world spirit and the idea of a warrior. See, that's something that's actually interesting, and that's things that you're not going to see in academia. So, another thing, academia stifles this because they're going to ask you to write a paper with a very narrow topic, and you're not going to actually have much free thinking to do. they shuffle you into uh, thinking in a certain way, and all of the papers are going to end up sounding more or less the same with the same few ideas just regurgitated. This is what they want. They want regurgitators. They don't want thinkers. So you go and you write this paper and you just say whatever you think the professor wants to hear and something that sounds halfway smart. You're not really doing any thinking. You're not coming up with an opinion of your own. And lastly, you're not actually critiquing the text. I never wrote a single paper in college where I said, I totally disagree with what this person says here. I might say, well, I really like this, but I had one minor disagreement with this point. I might have done that, but I never had a situation where I just totally tore apart whatever book we were reading because I knew that wouldn't go over well. Whereas in real life, you can do whatever you want. You can say that you don't like a book. I can go ahead and say that I don't like Nietzsche, and I don't think that he was right about certain things. Which, if you watch my 2 videos on Nietzsche, I was not afraid to do. Whereas in an academic setting, that would most likely be stifled to a degree. So, what I'm saying is, if you want to be an academic, there's nothing stopping you. Go ahead and read the books, write papers, share them with people, talk to me, talk to other people. We can build a community of pseudo academics and we can start to challenge this academic complex. You want to ask, how are we going to destroy academia? Well, it's going to be smart, intellectual individuals who don't fall into that academic model, right? You can be an intellectual without being an academic, and I definitely put myself in that category, and most of you should as well. So, what I'd like to build with this community and the people who watch, and this is actually a 50 subscriber special. I officially hit 50 subscribers, so thanks to all of you. But I'd really like to build a community here and get people more involved with reading these things and discussing them and talking about them. And we can become a challenge to academia. And perhaps I have too high of aspirations to say that we're going to dismantle an academic structure, an academic industrial complex. I mean, that's probably a bit far fetched. But at an individual level, we can hone our arguments, we can become more intelligent and learn how to respond to academic arguments and hold our own against real academics and even produce content that is rivaling real academics. I write papers and I will finally link to the blog that we set up. I have a few people writing off of that blog from my server in addition to myself. Wouldn't it be great if we could hone our writing to the point where we could respond to real academics and create real philosophy without being in an academic setting? Uh, I think that this is something we really should aspire to, even if it is right now it's a bit of a pipe dream. But just wanted to let you know to be positive and think that you're capable of anything. And if you're going to put in the work, if you're going to read and try to learn, there's nothing separating you from an academic other than this piece of paper. So you should never think that you're too stupid or too unlearned because they're not really doing any learning over there. They're doing regurgitating. You can be a true learner and you can be a true free thinker. And that's how we are going to one day challenge academia. So I hope you feel the same way I do. I hope you continue to watch videos, share, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And thanks for everyone who supported me. And I hope to see more contributions to our blog, contributions to our discussions. And thank you very much.